is Erin Chansey. I'm coming from the FLC with Scott Pittman back here, and we're going to teach you, or going to take you through some stretches. I typically teach a stretch class here, but since we have closed this place down in your home, I'm sure that you are trying to figure out what you're supposed to do with your time. So we thought we'd bring you a class. First of all, I just want to go through some benefits of stretch. The first one, first and foremost, is to manage stress. Hello, we're all in stressful times right now. And so another one is to increase your range of motion in your joints. Full range of motion, also blood circulation, circulate the oxygenated blood that you have throughout your body, enhance muscular coordination, possibly if you're a little older, your coordination, you've lost a little bit of coordination, this helps a lot with it. Increase energy levels and reduce risk of injuries. So those are some of the benefits, and we are going to get started. We have someone who has never taken a stretch class or have you done a whole lot of stretches so far? Yes, not a whole lot of stretches. So this is an inflexible person taking the stretch class, so you can keep your eyes back and forth, and I will explain some things that he will have to do differently from me, and it's absolutely fine. Everybody's at different levels. He had asked me before we started about the blocks. So anytime that we are going down in a forward stretch or anything and you can't touch the ground, instead of grabbing your legs, you'll just prop the block up to however deep you can go. If you can go lower here, and that's the lowest part of the block, and then after that, if you can touch the floor, in whatever movements we have. And he will be using the block periodically throughout, and I will explain when. But if everybody's ready, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, then we're going to get started. All right, first thing we're going to start with is some breathing. So all you're going to do is squat down. You're going to extend your arms out wide. Inhale as you come up. Hold that breath at the top for a second, and then exhale, blowing all the way out. And then again, inhale. Really lifting that rib cage up. Hold it at the top. Exhale. And last one, inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to hinge at your waist and fold down into a stretch. Now, while you're down here, your feet should be hip width apart. Yes, good job. Feet should be hip width apart. If you can touch the ground, that is great. But the thing that you're concentrating on while you're down here is relaxing your muscles. So you don't want to create tension in them. You really want to bring oxygen to your muscles, so nice deep belly breaths as you're holding that. And each time you exhale, just think about releasing those muscles that are tight. And breathe. They have shown studies that when you are stretching your hamstrings, the time allotted to release those hamstrings are actually 30 seconds, which are a really, really long time. As you can see, 30 seconds is a long time. I think we're about there. So all we're going to do is bend our knees slightly. We're going to round our back and come up really slow, thinking about separating each of our vertebrae all the way to the top. And our head is the last thing. All right, from here, we're going to hinge over at our waist. Okay, we're going to go down, try to grab our feet. If you can't grab your feet, then grab about your mid-shin, however far down you can go. Okay, but if you can grab your feet. We're going to move our feet out a little bit wider than shoulder width. From here, we're going to drop down, squatting as low as we can, keeping our heels down on the ground, however low you can get with your arms on the inside of your knees. Good job. Okay, then we're going to reach up with our right hand and look at it. Reach up with our left hand and look at it. And then we're going to stand up. Again, we're going to hinge at the waist, coming down slow. Grab onto those toes or your leg. And breathe. Drop those hips all the way down as low as you can get with those feet flat. Okay, we're going to go left arm first and look at it. Right arm, look at it. and stand up. All right, exhale and drop those arms. Bring your feet in just a little bit. We're gonna reach that left arm up, lifting your rib cage as high as it can go. You're just reaching up towards the sky here, and you're gonna reach your right arm down. Okay, and just breathe, getting that really good side stretch there. Your feet are firmly planted on the ground, reaching up and not really over, just reaching up towards the sky. And exhale, bring that arm down, right arm up, lifting that rib cage up, and reach that left arm down the thigh. And up, exhale. All right, from here we are going to grab our arms. They're going to go behind our thighs. Our knees are slightly bent. I'm going to lock my wrist, okay, behind my legs. And from here, I'm going to round my back, okay? And then I'm going to exhale and flatten it out. Inhale and round. Exhale and flatten. Inhale and round. Really stretching that back out. All right. And back flat. Round that back and come up hanging like a rag doll, separating each of our vertebrae all the way up. All right, now widen those feet. Nice and wide. We're going to take one more breath. At the top, hinge at the waist, folding over. As we are hanging down now, you want your legs nice and straight. We're not going to put our hands on the ground, which you should be able to touch here. Just grab your elbows. Remember to relax your head. Okay, a lot of people want to hold that head up and get nice and tight. Relax all those muscles. Again, breathing through that belly, nice deep belly breaths. Exhaling and relaxing all the way down, in and out. One more deep breath in and out. All right, bend those knees, roll up, nice and slow, and up and relax. All right, we're going to take a deep breath in. Your arms, palms facing each other, bring your feet in nice and narrow, and you will sit down into a chair pose, extending your arms up, reaching towards the sky, sitting your hips back and down, straight line up through your back. Okay, looking straight ahead. Good, and up. Relax. Now from here, we're going to put our palms together, get down to a quarter squat, and then we're going to twist. Our left elbow is the outside of our right knee. Okay, and then you're going to open up those shoulders and look at the ceiling. There you go, twist. Good job. Twist and look up. All right, back up. And then we're going to go down to the other side. So palms together. Sit down into that quarter squat. Twist that elbow to the outside of your knee. And look at the ceiling. You're trying to get those shoulders stacked on top of each other. Rotating through that spine. And back up. Good job, Sky. All right, your feet are hip width apart here, or shoulder width apart. And then all we're going to do is you're going to bend your right leg. Your left leg is straight. You're going to need the block in this one. So you're just kind of putting all your weight on your left leg here. You will take your right hand. I will go down and put it in front of my left foot, or on the block, as Scott has. You will take your left hand, it goes behind your back, and then from this position, as my left leg is still locked out, I'm going to twist and look at the ceiling. Another way that you can do this, if this is difficult for you in any way, is to do it from a chair. We have one person in the class who she does a lot of the exercises in a chair. You can do it, you just have to be a little bit creative. As you're down here, all right, then that knee come up, and we're going to go to the other side. So your right leg is locked out, left leg is bent. You will take your left hand, place it in front of your right foot, right hand behind your back, Open up and look at the ceiling. This stretch is for your IT band, which is on the outside of your hip here. All right. And open up. Hold in position, nice breathing. All right, back down. All right, hold this position, your knees are bent. Just kind of hang here for a second, move around. All right, round that back and come up. All right, so now we're gonna move onto the mat. I'm gonna stand in front of my mat. Okay, I'm gonna lunge backwards. Okay, from here, I'm gonna go down into a lunge. I'm gonna open up my chest, nice and big, and breathe. Nice deep breaths. Again, if you need to do this in a chair, you can, or holding on to a chair in front of you. All right, relax those arms. So your right arm is gonna go up, lifting that rib cage up and over into a side bend. Okay, we're gonna go down, lock our hands behind our back, lifting our hands up. All right, back down, bend forward. Your hands are on the ground to the inside of that foot. Okay, drop those hips down as low as you can get them. If you need to put your knee down on the ground, that's absolutely fine. Okay, if you can hold it up, then hold it up. We're gonna keep that right hand down on the ground and open up into a T-spine, okay? So we're stretching through the spine here. Now, a few things that you need to think about is pressing those hips down into the ground, stretching those hip flexors down through here. You want your shoulders stacked on top of each other. You don't wanna open up here, okay? We're not trying to go over rotate. We just want that nice, you're pushing through your palm, getting your shoulder away from your ear. Extend up and reach. Okay, and back down. All right, so from here, we're gonna come back up, rotate that outside foot towards the side wall. Okay, your front foot is pointing forward. There we go. All right, from here, your arms are extended. Nice tall spine, and you can use your block if you need it. We're just gonna hinge at the waist, keeping both legs completely locked out. Okay, and looking up at our right arm. Breathe and try to relax those muscles as you're in this position. All right, bend that knee and stand up. Together, and we're gonna go to the other side. You all right? All righty. Step back with that left leg. Get down in it, open up that chest. Nice deep breath. All right, and arms down, left arm up, lifting that rib cage up and over, stretch. And down, arms down behind, open up the chest. All right, and hands down on the ground on the inside of that leg. Drop those hips down. All right, left hand down on the ground, T-spine, reach up towards the sky, looking at it. Make sure that you push those hips down into the ground, pushing that palm into the ground, getting that head away from your ears. Okay, breathe, try to relax into the movement. All right, back down. We're gonna stand up. Okay, our back foot faces the side wall, forward foot faces straight ahead. Okay, our arms are extended, and we're gonna hinge at the waist, down, put your hand flat on the ground or on a block. Okay, shoulders stacked on top of each other, and look at the ceiling. Both legs are as straight as you can make them. Again, you can do any of these hanging onto a chair, sitting in the chair, however you want to do it. All right, and back down, and we're going to stand up. Bring your feet back in. Let's see what we have we're gonna move down onto the mat. We're gonna get in a quadruped, which means your hands are directly below your shoulders. Your knees are directly below your hips. That means your feet should be your knees should be hip width apart. Your toes are tucked under, okay? They're not flat, they're tucked under. From here, we're gonna inhale and round our back, dropping our head, holding that breath at the top, big a breath as you can take, and then exhale. Pressing that belly button towards the ground, lifting that head up nice and high. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to do that again. Inhale. And exhale. All right, from here, we are going to extend. We're going to work on our groin a little bit. So all I'm going to do is move my foot out as wide as I can. Okay, with my foot still flat. And then from this position, yep, I'm not sitting back yet, so my hips are still stacked on top of my knee. And then from this position, I'm going to sit back towards my heel, and that should put me in a stretch position for my groin on this right side. Are you feeling that, Scott?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, so if you can lie flat or go down your elbows, or if you need to stay up, however, everybody's different. All right, we're just going to sit back in it and breathe. And forward, pull that knee in. We're gonna go over to the other side. Reach that left leg out. So in order to get the best stretch, you really need to reach out. So move this foot far out. If you keep it nice and close, you're really not gonna get as good of a stretch or a different stretch. You can do stretches a number of different ways. Nothing's wrong as long as you're stretching it. And sit back into it. Great job. Moving that foot in. All right. So from here, we're going to move both of our knees out. We're going to put our feet directly below our knees. Okay, in this position, and then you're just going to sit back towards your heels. Okay, so this is a frog pose. Now we're stretching both groins at the same time. All right, you're just sitting back towards those heels, and then we're going to come forward. We're going to tuck our feet in so that they touch each other, and then we're going to sit back again. Just stretching different groin muscles right now. All right, and come forward. All right, bring those knees in, wiggle those hips a little bit. All right, so from here, we're going to come up on our feet. This is called a downward dog position. What you're going to do is you're going to press your head between your shoulders, between your arms. Press it as far forward as you can with your arms completely locked out. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to press my heels into the ground, but they should not be touching. I'm going to lift my hips up towards the sky, concentrating on elongating the backs of the posterior side of my legs back here, really pressing through and breathing. You should feel this stretch in a lot of different places. Just let your mind think about pressing those heels down, lifting those hips up, pressing that head between those shoulders. So while we're in this position, if you can, lift the right leg up. If you can't, just stay in this position. Again, you can do it on a chair. Your hands are on the back of the chair. Okay, so you're going to lift that leg as high as you can lift it. While we're here, I'm driving my heel down, pressing my head between my shoulders here. Holding this leg up. All right, and from this position, we're swinging it down and forward. Okay, that knee is tucked. So in this position, Scott, you can use the block underneath your hip. If your hip can't go very low, you can even turn it on its side if you're really high. Okay, just so you're not straining, because you don't want to sit here and strain in the stretches, because you're really not bringing the oxygenated blood to it. You're actually flexing the muscles. So we want to relax them, not make them really, really work. All right, so in this position, you want to get comfortable. Make sure that this leg is directly behind you. You don't want to make sure that your hips aren't rolled over to the side, but stacked on top. Okay, if this is not stretching you, then you'll just move your foot up. Okay, and then from here, I'm just going to push my hips down and forward into the ground. My chest is up. All right, stretching all of these external rotators in here. And then from here, we're going to go down onto our elbows or flat, reaching out, dropping our head down, and just breathing. Try to relax as much as you can. Letting gravity do its work. Okay, we're going to walk our hands over to the left and stay in that same position, just changing things a little bit, stretching a little different muscles. And walk your hands over to the right. And walking them back. From here, we're going to move our foot back. We're going to come down flat on the ground. All right, we're going to press up. Okay, so this one we're stretching our core, our stomach, and our back. So you're more than welcome to come up on your elbows if you need to. Just make sure that you're pushing your shoulders away from your ears. Okay, your hands are nice extended. Your core is relaxed. All right, pushing up, nice tall spine, looking straight ahead, driving those shoulders down into the ground. All right, we're gonna go down, and then you're gonna sit back. Okay, here, you're gonna sit back on your feet. So your feet are pointed, your knees are to the outside of your rib cage. Okay, so they're slightly out. And then you're gonna extend your arms forward and relax. Just sit in this position. All right, great job. We're gonna come back up into that downward dog position again. Back to it. Remember, while you're here, concentrate on a few things, pushing that head between your shoulders, driving your heels down, lifting your hips up. You're as straight as you can be in an inverted V. Lifting that left foot up into the sky, driving that right heel down. All right, and swing it up and forward. Reach that back foot back, point that toe. If you need your block, you can sit on the block. All right, driving those hips forward and down. Sitting nice and tall, nice tall spine. And fold forward. Reach those arms up and relax. Just breathe in this position. Try to get as comfortable as you can. If you're not feeling a good stretch, just remember to move that foot up towards your head. And breathe. Remember, feeling it all in these hips here, or this hip. Okay, walk our hands over to the right. And move them over to the left. And back to the center, push up. All right, bring that leg back. Bring your down, chest on the ground, and press up again. knees are just outside of your rib cage. Don't forget those nice, deep, oxygenated breaths. All right, we're going to come up and down on the mat. All right, this stretch right here is going to open up our lungs. Okay? So if you can, grab your feet. Now, if you cannot grab your feet, then just extend your feet down, and all you're going to do is open up your palms and reach back. But if you can grab your feet, then grab your feet, and then from here we're going to lift our feet up, opening up that chest and breathing. Here we go. Reach those palms back towards the back wall. Really opens up the chest from a lot of the congestion and stuff that we may have. All right, so we're gonna sit back. Now we're gonna roll over onto our backs. So from here, you wanna pull your knees to your chest, or you can grab your feet, whichever one you're more comfortable with. Okay, this is stretching your lower back a little bit. Move around, wiggle. Okay, just releasing all the tension. Okay, from here, you're gonna release those legs, drop them down, pull your right leg up, bent knee, taking your left hand, we're gonna rotate it over to the side. Okay, you want it to fall as far down as you can. So while you're in this position, I'm reaching my right arm right and I'm looking at that hand. So when I'm breathing and exhaling, I'm thinking about letting the shoulder that's raised up off the ground get as close as it can to the ground, and this knee that's across my body fall as close to the ground on that side. Okay, so while we're in this position, I'm going to take the extended hand and I'm going to grab the foot of this straight leg. Okay, so now we're adding a quad stretch to this position. So when you're pulling this, you want to make sure that this knee is brought back right up under the hip as far as you can, and then just try to relax and breathe. You're in a pretzel position. What do you think, Scott? Is that a pretzel for you?
It is a pretzel.
It's a pretzel. All right, so this is stretching so many things. It's stretching your lower back, all the way through your spine, your quads. Just a good stretch. All right, release that. Come back and pull your knees to your chest or grab your feet, whichever you're more comfortable doing. Okay, we're just gonna release that side since we got it all tight. All right, relax both legs down. We're gonna pull that left knee up now. Okay, take your right hand, reach it across, rotate it over, looking away from your knee. Sit here, take a couple breaths, just to let your body get comfortable in this position. Make sure you twist through that spine. Alright, so from this position, take that extended hand and reach down and grab that foot. Making sure that that knee is directly below your hips. Okay, and again, I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to drive that shoulder down and looking away from my knee. Good, nice controlled belly breaths. Don't get it into a position where you're holding your breath. Just relax all the way through. All right, and release it. Pull those knees to your chest or grab your feet. All right, relax. So we're going to put our left left foot down on the ground, our right leg is straight. Okay, it's as straight as you can make it. So for this position, we're gonna grab however high up on your leg you can grab. Okay, as long as your leg stays as straight as you can keep it. So you can grab wherever on that leg, keeping that leg straight, pulling it up towards your head, but I do want your head to remain on the ground for this stretch. So from here, we are gonna point our toes and really curl those toes under, and then we are going to flex that ankle and pulling those toes back towards my head, and then we're going to point. Okay, we're just stretching that ankle while we're in a hamstring stretch, and flex, dorsiflex is what that's called. Okay, point, curling those toes down and away, and flex. All right, bend that knee and release it. We're going to the other side. So again, wherever you can grab on this leg, everybody's different. All right, keep that other foot flat on the ground. Pull it in into a good hamstring stretch, and then point. Really try to curl those toes down as far as you can curl them, really stretching through the front part of your ankle, and flex. Pulling those toes back. Keeping that leg nice and straight, point. And flex. Last one, point. And flex. Good job, bending that knee and down. So from here, we're going to sit up nice and slow. Rotate that around. Okay, your feet are going to be wide in a V. We are going to walk our hands forward onto the ground. Get as low as you can possibly go. If it's only here, that's fine. All right, but just make sure you keep your hands down on the ground and just reach out. So each time you exhale, just try to drop that chest a little closer to the ground. Still hanging strong over there, Scott?
Yeah.
Okay, so from this position, we're gonna pull our knees in and we're gonna stack them on top of each other, or as close as you can get them.
Okay.
There we go. So it doesn't matter. I mean, he's obviously in a good stretch. Okay, here, you want your feet almost in a straight line out with your knees stacked on top of each other. For this one, whatever position you can get into where you feel a good stretch. All right, so from this position, all we're gonna do is fold forward. So we're gonna round our back and fold forward. You should feel the stretch through your hips. You feel them through your hips? All right, so make sure that you don't tense them up. That means you've gone too far. Just go to where you feel the stretch and just try to breathe through and release them. You feel those tight muscles. Okay, we're gonna sit right back up, and then we're gonna do a spinal rotation. So I'm gonna take my left arm, I'm gonna push my forearm against that knee so that my spine is nice and erect, and I'm gonna rotate those shoulders open. So I'm gonna inhale, and each time I exhale, I'm going to try to move my eyes a little bit further back. Keeping that spine nice and tall. All right, and back to the front, and we're going to change our legs. Stack the other ones on top, and we're going to fold forward. Spinal rotation. Make sure that you use this arm to push. Okay, I'm using that arm to push and rotate my shoulders. Sitting up nice and tall and looking behind. Inhale, exhale, and rotate. straight out in front of us, sitting up nice and tall. From this position, we're just gonna reach forward with our back flat. Okay, we're not gonna round, we're just gonna reach forward with our back flat. Our toes are pulled up towards our head. Remember to keep that spine nice and flat. And then we're gonna exhale and round that back, dropping our head down. Sit back up in a comfortable position, whatever position you want to get into, to where you're comfortable to sit up, just sitting up nice and tall. So from this position, we're going to stretch out our neck a little bit where we tend to carry a lot of our tension. So we're going to rotate our head over to our right shoulder. Remember, sit up nice and tall. Make sure that when you rotate your head, your shoulders don't move with it. Okay, they stay nice and square forward. You're looking over that right shoulder as far as you can. So once you get to that position where you can't move your head anymore, we're going to concentrate on this left shoulder. So all we're going to do is push it back towards the back wall and then drop it down into the ground. You should feel a better stretch throughout your left side. And then bring your head forward. Now we're going to look over to our left shoulder as far as we can look. And then once we get to a point where we can't go any further, we're going to push this right shoulder back towards the back wall and push it, depress it, if you will, down into the ground. Just really feel that stretch. And back forward. Now from here, we're going to tilt our head, bringing this right ear down to our right shoulder. Again, the same thing. And then that left shoulder, press it down into the ground. Okay, you should feel it a little bit further back on your neck. And you can rotate your head in any position while you're down here if you have tension in different places. You don't have to be exact. Stretch is not an exact science. Okay, we're just giving you guidelines. Back up and left ear to left shoulder. Remember, all of these stretches are just guidelines. If you can't do them exactly as we do them, then don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. The fact that you're still stretching, drop your right shoulder down into the ground. The fact that you're stretching and that you're here with us and doing something to keep your mind active and your body healthy, we do appreciate it. Okay, back up. So from here, we're going to stretch our forearms and our wrists. So you're going to lock out your right arm, pull your fingers towards your forearm here. Pull them back, making sure that the arm is nice and straight. You should feel it stretch up under here. Okay, pushing that palm away, dropping that shoulder down. Just pulling on those fingers. Okay, now grab the back of your hand. Again, locking out that arm. And gently pull that wrist back. Again, stretching that top of your forearm. All right, and we're going to switch arms. That left arm out, pulling those fingertips back towards that forearm. And press it down and away. All right, so our palms are together, interlock our fingers, and we're going to push our palms away, rounding that upper back, dropping our head, really separating those shoulder blades back there. Nice breath. Okay, drop down, shoulder roll back, shoulder roll forward. All right, so we hope that you enjoyed this video and that you benefit from it in some way. We pray for your safety and I hope everybody's doing well.